Okay, there we go. Good morning. We're doing live tea talk with Soul Lines Living this morning. I'm going to start with my grand adventure was I'm here with Michelle. So forgive us if we have any technical difficulties, um, any echoing in that. But our talk this morning is going to be about how to build your immunity naturally, sharing through meditation and things, and Michelle through some things that you're going to have in your house to naturally help with building your immunity. And I'm going to talk about breath and movement. So we're getting into that busy holiday season, and we're all like, the kids come home with sniffles, we're out in public more, we're around other people. And what are some ways that we can use to naturally build our immune system to help prevent some of these things, and some ways to handle the symptoms when we're done?
Well, we're going to enter into the space with a short meditation. So just become comfortable. Take a breath, deep inhale, and then fully exhale. Feel yourself becoming centered and calm. Take 2 more breaths, inhaling fully and exhaling just to release any tension. 1 more breath. Set an intention first for self-care. Silently repeat, I am worthy of care. I am worthy of kindness. Say that to yourself. Let those words resonate with you. Feel them in your heart. And now just visualize your heart area becoming golden and expanding throughout your body. Health expanding from your heart center out to your fingertips and to your toes. See this light glow. Breath. Affirm your intention. Say to yourself, I am making choices that nourish my body. I'm making choices that nourish my mind. And I choose habits that bring me care. Feel this affirmation, and we're going to end with gratitude. We're thankful we're here to learn, to grow, and to be our best selves. And so it is.
So I'm going to start off by talking about some things that we need in the home this season, all seasons really, to kind of help boost our immunity, things we should be doing to boost our immunity year round. But a few things, and if you want to write this down, I can put this in the comments after we get done also, is things that should be as part of your arsenal. Or ginger, always have ginger in your house, turmeric, ghee, castor oil. Oh, having a lemon, herbal tea, Epsom salt, honey, and then having eucalyptus and lemongrass essential oils to help with allergies and when you get kind of congested. And then I'll kind of explain a little bit about why some of those things. But first, I want to say when you're looking at things to put in your medicine cabinet, there are herbs for your medicine cabinet, is look for organic or non-GMO if you can't find organic. And the reason why is because when we are eating foods that have pesticides in them, what do pesticides do? They kill whatever's in the field of things that's being grown. So then you're ingesting whatever that is into your body and you're killing your gut. So all of these herbs, what they do is they help feed your gut. and they help get that digestive fire going and help your body stay immune. Everything starts in the gut. If your gut's taken care of, the rest of your body will be taken care of. Ginger and turmeric, those are two that stoke that digestive fire, and cinnamon also, that really gets that going and helps whenever, even if you're eating. We had pizza yesterday. We had pizza, and I'm going to talk on Shannon for just a second. Shannon doesn't react well to gluten and dairy. And yesterday, after we had this, she said, I'm not red, I'm not splotchy, I'm not itchy. So sometimes you'll notice that that'll happen. And so, are you doing something differently that's helping boost your immunity so that whenever you do have some pizza, it's not going to bother you like it might normally? And also, one of the greatest things to boost immunity is joy. So on Shannon's grand adventure for the weekend, she has a lot of joy. So she's built that internal fire also by having joy in her life. So if you're sad and depressed, your immunity is going to be less. So do something that you really enjoy doing, no matter what it is. Go for a walk. Go stand outside in the grass or the dirt or the snow, whatever, and do some grounding and do something that brings you some joy. I'm going to pass it over to, I can't remember who right now. So we'll just go to the next person.
Shannon was going to talk a little bit about movement.
Oh, there we go. So it's interesting as listening to Michelle as she's talking about creating that inner fire to build your immunity. And that's not what I was going to talk about, but I'm fixing to piggyback off of that. So what we do in Qigong is we build our Qi and we build that inner fire. And we do that through movement and breath work. Bear with me. I'm going to read for a minute and Michelle's going to hit me if I go into talking to myself. So in Qigong, we teach a lot about breathing and we focus on that a lot because life begins and ends with breath. Our bodies need a huge amount of oxygen to function properly and to help discard waste products. That we know. But that's the fundamental of the teaching in this. Breathing affects our whole body. It affects our nervous system, heart, digestive system, muscles, sleep quality, and energy levels, our concentration, our memory, everything. It focuses on breath. I'm going with that right there. When we're babies, we watch babies breathe. They breathe so naturally and when they breathe with their whole bodies. As we get older, we breathe up here. And I'm watching as people get older and get unhealthier, their breath is stuck up here. It's not lower. So with Qigong, we want to consciously breathe and take those slow, steady, deep breaths in, filling our whole body, and those slow, steady exhales where we exhale everything and squeeze in our abdomen. That we have to do that. Have to. If not, we get stuck, and then that's where disease starts, and our immunity is done. And you watch older people; or sick people, they don't breathe well. So that's the purpose. We're going to breathe. We're going to learn how to breathe in and out in a way that optimizes our getting rid of the stagnant energy in our body, getting rid of the waste. According to the studies, 70% of the waste in our body should come from our exhale, our breath. 20% should come from sweat, and only 10% by our internal organs, our kidneys and our digestive system. But the digestive system and our kidneys are unfortunately what do the most of it. So we've got to keep that healthy as well. But breathing is so vital. So the big thing is learning how to breathe in slowly and not go like people go. They breathe in real big, hard and fast, and it still stays right up here. So it's slowing that breath down, breathing like they teach us to do in the hospital post-surgeries, where you hold the ball and you hold it up as you're inhaling for as long as you can. Not as hard as you can, but for as long as you can. And that's how we optimize our breathing, and that will help the immune system. The other thing in Qigong is movement. So those silly little movements where I do, arching your back and rounding your back, that's moving your spine and all of that synovial fluid, our spinal fluid, moving our head, getting the fluid that's stuck in our brain and not heat. It's moving all the fluids in our body, getting our blood system pumping, and staying healthy. That's kind of what we do. And that's how we can combat this holiday season and do what we can do to kind of let our body naturally fight off those little germs that are coming around and the change of the season. Ooh, one more thing. So breathing, all the respiratory things, it's about breath. So we get the head colds, we get the chest colds. If we breathe better, it helps us manage that when that comes along, instead of feeling like we're short of breath or having those bronchitis and pneumonia and all of that, and the colds that we get wheezy. So,
All right. Well, you made me think of a couple things. It's like somebody once told me, like, they're like, Sharon, you with your 3 breaths. Yes, me with my 3 breaths. You'll hear me talk about mindfulness all the time and just taking a pause, take 3 breaths. The benefit is everything that Shannon just talked about. So we need it. We don't breathe well as people, and we need to focus on that to help our immunity, to help our overall well-being, to help that stress and anxiety, which that's where a lot of our breakdown in our immunity comes from. Have you ever noticed when you're going through something that's really stressful that you just, like, next thing you know, you're sick and you don't know, but it's because of stress breaks down that immune system. So one way, and probably my part is going to be the most unpopular part of this talk, to reduce stress is sleep. Get good sleep. I wish I could do a do-over for all my life when I wore it as a badge of honor. I only slept 3 hours last night. I only slept 5 hours last night. Not good for my body. So get good sleep. You've heard of the term maybe sleep hygiene, but sleep is important for restoring, recharging our body. Think of us as your cell phone. You know, you have to charge the battery, right? Or your phone's not going to work. It's the same thing with our bodies. And a lot of times, sleep is the last thing that we think about. And because it's the last thing that we think about, oftentimes then we can't sleep because we haven't prepared for it. So get good sleep. So this is the part, I'm working on this. I'm a bona fide night owl. I tried to overcome that over the years, and I've gotten better. But it starts with having a consistent sleep schedule. Now, that one I never liked because it's like, go to bed at a certain time, get up at a certain time, same time every day, even weekends. Okay, that doesn't work for me. But that's what the recommendation is. But I do strive to wake up within an hour. I have a time frame, and I try to go to bed. And if you are a night owl and you are, like for me, I was getting later and later, going to bed at 1 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I was getting up at 5 a.m. Yeah. And it was terrible. I had to be on in the morning, and I was foggy-headed and tired because I just kept staying up. I started setting my bedtime. Okay. Instead of going to bed at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go to bed at 12:45. And that was my bedtime. And I did that for a while. And I just kept slowly backing it up till I was able to go to bed between 10 and 11. I'm not perfect on this, and I have recently slipped back in, so I'm going to have to start backing it up. And last night I did go to bed at a decent hour, but it is a goal. So have a goal to have some type of bedtime. And here's some things you can do to help with that bedtime. Have a routine while you're getting ready for bed. Maybe start at an hour or 30 minutes before. For me is I brush my teeth, I floss my teeth, I do some gentle yoga stretches, and I try my best, and I am not perfect, to not have my phone in front of me. Now, I may be listening to like an online book or something like that, something positive and uplifting, because I don't want to go to bed after watching 48 Hours or, crime documentaries. But that's not good, because what you listen to before you go to bed goes into your brain. So whatever that might be for you, it might be reading a book. It might be journaling. It might be a brief meditation. So just something that kind of tells your body, hey, get ready to go to bed. Like you do the babies, you know, when you're putting a baby to sleep, you're like, okay, we're getting a bath, we're going to get our jammies on, I'm going to sing you a song, and now we're going to bed. All right, and this next one, another unpopular thing, is the limit screen time. I just kind of mentioned that, but I know personally, if I sit there in bed and scroll on my phone, I just feel yucky. I can't describe it. It's a yucky feeling. I'm out of sorts, and I have trouble going to sleep. I get amped up because our phones emit this blue light, and it interferes with our melatonin production, and that affects our sleep. It affects our sleep quality. And have you ever noticed you might just feel a little yucky? Even if I'm like, oh, well, I'm just watching positive things. Well, but there's those other things that slip in there when you're scrolling, right? That they're like, hey, do you want to watch this? Do you want to watch this? So less screen time equals better sleep equals better immune health. So find your happy medium. Some say an hour before bed. You set it however you want. Like, I'm not going to look at my screen 5 minutes before bed or 15 minutes before bed, but just make a goal to make it less than it is now. I do need a wind down. It's pretty busy when I lay down. When I am going to bed, to kind of help wind down, I will listen to an audiobook or podcast, but I'm not looking at my screen. So that is one thing that I do, or I just turn it off and set it over there. And I find out when I do that, I do have a better sleep, a better quality of sleep, and I'm able to fall asleep. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute too, like falling asleep and waking up in the middle of the night. Who does that? Who can't fall asleep? And who wakes up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep? So just a couple things there. Meditating. Well, I'm going to add this. Everyone knows I really believe I'm passionate about meditation, but meditating before bed, just a brief little coming into the space and thinking of all the things that went well today, things that brought you joy. And I say that because what do we tend to do? We tend to jump in our bed and be like, oh, this and oh, that. And I should have said, no. That's, I am thankful that I got to hang out with so-and-so. I am thankful that I had a good walk today. I'm thankful that I had a good phone, whatever. Thankful for the things. Make sure your room is cool, dark. You can blackout curtains help. So you want to have a conducive to sleep. TVs in the bedroom, you've heard that before. It's not a good thing. What's your what you eat or drink at night? You don't want to have a heavy meal before you go to bed. As I'm older, it's like heartburn is a real thing, and it's not good to go to bed with a heavy meal. But if you need a light snack, eat something with it. I'm going to make sure I say this in word correctly. Light with tryptophan, which is an amino acid that helps the body produce proteins, enzymes, and muscles, and things like that. It helps with sleep, bottom line. Like bananas or yogurt. It's in a lot of food we eat, but a light snack of that. And you can look that up online. I'll put the word down below, but tryptophan, it's in a lot of foods we eat. So that will help with better sleep, like an hour before bed, not right before bed.
Now, I was just thinking, like you were saying, I have to be really careful what I watch before I go to bed, because if not, I'll have crazy dreams about what I watched. And sleep seems to be a big thing, like trying to get enough sleep and rest. And I know that when I'm tired and I have not slept and I am run down, that is when I get the sickest. So, and then my body will shut me down, and then I'll be 2 days in bed and do nothing else. So, sleep to prevent it. And it is not easy.
Try falling asleep, which is a problem that I think most of us have these day and age, is to just do something to relax your muscles. Like when I do yoga, it's just gentle yoga, and my body is just ready for, like, I move my shavasana to the bedroom and I can sleep better. So any kind of gentle stretching or tension releasing, just like laying there and putting your mind on any areas of tension in your body is helpful. Mindful breathing, just counting your breaths, like counting sheep, count your breaths as you're drifting off. That will help. Count down. That's another thing you can do as you're breathing. Just count your breaths down. Start at like 50 and just start counting down. Like they do when they're putting you under anesthesia. It kind of helps take your mind offline. And the other one is to just daydream. So shift to like just thinking of happy thoughts or a place you've been, or maybe a place you're going. But just take yourself there and do a little visualization. And that might help bring your thinking down. And then if you wake up during the night, what's the number one thing you don't do? Don't grab your phone. It's so easy. What time is it? Oh, look. No, so keep the lights low. Even when I go to the bathroom at night, I don't like to turn the lights on because I'll get woke up, but use dim lights up so you don't wake your brain up. You can do something quiet for a few minutes, maybe focus on that tension or do a meditation. I will meditate in the middle of the night when I wake up. And then try box breathing. Box breathing is inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. So it's just like going around a box. Just anytime you're focusing on a breath, it's going to help calm and relax you. So avoid looking at the clock and being like, oh my God, I only have this much more sleep. I used to do that. Don't look at the clock. That'll add to the stress, which does not help your immunity.
So yeah, I guess I'm going to wrap it up. The whole point is meditating, sleeping well, resting, being well rested, being well nourished, breathing well, movement, getting outside, exercising, getting that fresh air. All of that stuff is going to help your body combat anything that comes in, and using things like ginger and turmeric and honey and things like that on a regular basis are going to help naturally boost your immune system. And they're great to have on hand in case you get sick, because we all call Michelle when we're like, oh my gosh, I've got a cold. What do I do? I know what to do, but I still call her and ask anyways. I'll be like, and she's like, well, have you tried hot tea with honey and lemon? And I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. Wait, but it's just those things. So we have that on hand, taking our turmeric daily. All of that is going to help us get through this holiday season, this busy winter coming up, fall, winter, change of seasons, a little bit healthier and a little bit happier for us and our families.
This is going to go on for the YouTube. So people on Facebook, we're already in our Facebook group, but join our Facebook group. We are going to be having live yoga and live qigong, and we're going to have some other live things. All of the things I said in the beginning to have in your holistic medicine cabinet. In the future, we're going to have a post about what you actually do with those things. But this is going to give you some time to get some of those things in your home so we can talk about what you're going to do. So whenever I'm telling you how to make a specific tea, or if I'm saying use this if you've got a cough, or when you have a fever, do this, it's not something you have to go to the store to get. So try to get some of those things in your home, and that way whenever you do get sick, you have something in your arsenal already to use to start feeling better without taking chemicals and medications that your body really doesn't need to get through that. And that's all I have for today.
Thank you all for joining us.